When you grow old, 9 reasons why people secretly hate you. Aging is often seen as a time of wisdom and fulfillment, but the journey through later life can bring unexpected shifts in how others perceive you. As you grow older, the relationships and dynamics around you may transform in subtle and sometimes surprising ways. You may sense a certain distance, judgment, or even resentment from people you once felt close to, leaving you wondering why these feelings arise. It's not always easy to pinpoint, but many factors contribute to why people might secretly harbor negative feelings toward you as you age. In this video, we'll explore 9 underlying reasons why others might feel this way, not to discourage you, but to equip you with insight and understanding. By recognizing these hidden causes, you can navigate your relationships with greater compassion, self-assurance, and clarity, choosing responses that protect your peace and dignity. If you find this content insightful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We invite you to stay connected as we continue exploring life's meaningful and often unspoken experiences. 1. Envy and jealousy. As we age, our lives reflect the years of dedication, resilience, and growth we've invested in ourselves and our relationships. By the time you've reached your later years, you've likely achieved a certain level of stability, collected an array of experiences, and cultivated hard-earned wisdom. These achievements, however, can sometimes spark envy or jealousy in others, even without you realizing it. While it's natural to assume others would celebrate your successes, the reality is often more complex. When someone else looks at your life, particularly if they feel their own lacks in certain areas, the comparison can evoke feelings they might not even fully understand or acknowledge. Imagine a friend, relative, or even a neighbor who struggles financially while you enjoy a stable retirement after decades of prudent saving and planning. Without you doing anything but simply living within the security you've earned, your friend or neighbor might feel pangs of envy. They may not openly express it, but you may notice slight shifts in their tone or in the nature of their comments, perhaps a dismissive remark about being lucky, or a backhanded compliment that feels more like a veiled jab. For someone who finds themselves in a difficult financial spot, your success, though entirely deserved, might highlight what they lack, stirring discomfort or resentment that surfaces in subtle ways. These feelings aren't always tied to financial security. They can arise around relationships as well. Suppose you and your spouse have shared a long, supportive marriage, while a family member or friend has endured difficult relationships or even divorce. In such situations, your lasting partnership can inadvertently act as a mirror, reflecting someone else's relationship challenges back at them. You might find them withdrawing slightly, avoiding social gatherings where couples are likely to be present, or even minimizing your marital achievements as just luck. Your happiness and stability, although you certainly didn't cultivate them to make others feel uncomfortable, can touch a raw nerve. In addition to relationships and financial security, even the quiet confidence you've gained through life's challenges can be a point of envy. Facing life's ups and downs has likely given you a certain calm, a resilience that shines through your actions. While you see it as a natural evolution of your life journey, someone who is still grappling with insecurity or self-doubt may see your composure as a reminder of their own inner turmoil. It can feel unfair that simply being yourself can stir discomfort in others, but it's essential to remember that envy often says more about those who feel it than it does about you. Navigating the envy of others requires a delicate balance between staying true to yourself and being sensitive to their feelings. It's natural to feel hurt or even puzzled when you notice someone pulling away or acting differently around you. However, it's important to recognize that their envy or jealousy is ultimately a reflection of their own experiences and insecurities, not a reflection of your worth or choices. Try to avoid internalizing these reactions. Remember that you don't need to dim your light to make others feel comfortable. One way to maintain inner peace amid such feelings is by focusing on supportive relationships. Surround yourself with people who genuinely appreciate and celebrate your achievements. These are the individuals who recognize the hard work that went into creating the life you enjoy and who view your stability, not as a point of comparison, but as an inspiration. These friends and family members encourage you to live authentically, and they understand that your journey has been filled with as many struggles as triumphs. By valuing these connections, you create a network of support that bolsters your peace and keeps envy from affecting your self-worth. Finally, practice compassion when interacting with those who may feel envious. Approach their reactions with understanding rather than judgment, acknowledging that you may not fully understand their experiences. This doesn't mean excusing negative behavior, but rather recognizing that envy often comes from a place of pain or longing. By showing empathy and kindness, even toward those who may resent you, you affirm your own strength and character. After all, you've built a life that you're proud of, and there's no reason to let the envy of others diminish your sense of fulfillment. As you continue to live with grace and resilience, remember that your life is a testament to your journey. Embrace it fully, with humility and gratitude, and let it serve as a quiet example to those around you. 2. Unresolved rivalries and comparisons. As we move through life, certain comparisons and rivalries from our younger years may linger quietly in the background, only to resurface later in life. Old rivalries, whether with siblings, childhood friends, or longtime peers, can sometimes persist in subtle ways, affecting how we interact with those closest to us. While we may have long outgrown the competitiveness of youth, these old dynamics can still be present, impacting our relationships as we age. Sibling relationships, in particular, can carry the weight of lifelong comparisons. Perhaps a sibling felt they lived in the shadow of your successes, or maybe you were the one who felt overlooked. As adults, the memories of who did better in school, who married first, or who achieved greater financial success can continue to influence how you view each other, even decades later. You may find that these memories resurface in conversation as subtle jabs or even as outright comparisons, masked as light-hearted remarks. For instance, a sibling may comment on how frequently your children visit or how well you seem to manage your finances, with an undertone suggesting comparison to their own situation. The same can happen with friends or peers you've known for years. Suppose you and a friend shared similar career paths or life goals, but your trajectories eventually diverged. They may have chosen a different path or faced challenges you did not. These differences, often unspoken, can create a quiet rivalry that colors interactions in your later years. For example, a friend who might have struggled financially could make light-hearted but pointed comments about your vacations or lifestyle choices, subtly implying a feeling of being left behind. These long-standing rivalries can impact relationships, sometimes causing distance or creating unnecessary tension. Without even realizing it, you may find yourself adjusting your behavior to avoid drawing attention to certain aspects of your life that you sense make others uncomfortable. You might avoid mentioning your grandchildren's recent achievements, your latest travel plans, or even small victories in your personal life, all in an attempt to keep the peace. While these adjustments may seem small, over time they can prevent authentic connections and diminish the joy of sharing life's highlights with people you care about. In moments when these old rivalries surface, it's essential to ground yourself in your own journey. Acknowledge that while others may feel compelled to compare, your life's path is unique and deeply personal. You've worked hard to create the life you have, facing your own challenges along the way. Rather than engaging in or entertaining these comparisons, remind yourself that your experiences, accomplishments, and relationships are your own. By focusing on the things that bring you personal joy and satisfaction, you can maintain inner peace without feeling the need to participate in competitive dynamics. Fostering this mindset is liberating. Instead of seeing interactions as subtle contests of who has achieved more, approach relationships with acceptance and curiosity. Celebrate the differences and take pride in the unique paths you and your loved ones have taken. Sharing your own stories with openness, without downplaying your successes or fearing that they'll evoke resentment, can encourage others to feel comfortable doing the same. Finally, remember that old rivalries don't define you or your relationships. Embrace your journey as yours alone and release the need to compete. The fulfillment and contentment you feel are not diminished by others' experiences. By focusing on your growth, values, and the connections that genuinely matter, you build stronger relationships based on respect and authenticity rather than lingering comparisons. In the end, it is your peace, dignity, and self-acceptance that create the most lasting legacy, inspiring those around you to focus on their own lives with a similar sense of pride and satisfaction. 3. Personal insecurities and projection. As we age, others may begin to see us through a lens shaped by their own insecurities, struggles, and unfulfilled aspirations. Often, this isn't a conscious act, but rather a subtle, almost instinctive way of coping with personal dissatisfaction. When people project their inner struggles onto you, they might interpret your success, stability, or even your contentment as a painful reminder of their own perceived shortcomings. This projection can be especially noticeable in later years when life paths have largely settled and individuals reflect on the choices they've made. Projection can take many forms, from offhand remarks to more dismissive attitudes. For instance, if you've managed to maintain good health through regular exercise and self-care, a friend or family member who faces health challenges might make disparaging comments like, "Well, not all of us have that kind of time," or, "You're lucky, I've always had more important things to focus on." It's not that they resent you personally, but rather that your choices and outcomes make them more acutely aware of their own struggles. Similarly, if you've built a comfortable life after years of planning and saving, those who feel financially insecure might interpret your stability as a critique of their own financial journey. These interactions, though often subtle, can be emotionally draining. It's not easy to sense that your contentment unintentionally stirs feelings of discomfort in others. However, it's crucial to recognize that this discomfort stems from within them. It's not a reflection of who you are or a critique of the life you've built. Remember, their reactions are based on their personal battles, fears, or regrets, and not on anything you've done. In handling these situations, approach them with compassion, yet don't let their insecurities define your actions or limit your happiness. Show empathy by recognizing that everyone's journey is different and that these reactions might be rooted in their unspoken struggles. When someone makes a comment that feels loaded with projection, take a moment to pause before reacting. Respond with kindness, perhaps acknowledging the challenge they're expressing, without diminishing your own experience. For example, if someone dismisses your efforts to stay healthy, you might say, "It's been a lot of work, but I feel grateful for the strength it's brought me." This approach validates your own achievements while subtly diffusing any tension. At the same time, it's essential to set boundaries. Compassion does not mean accepting negativity or resentment as part of your daily life. If someone consistently projects their insecurities onto you in a way that becomes hurtful or draining, it's okay to limit your interactions or gently redirect conversations. Protecting your well-being is a necessary form of self-care, especially when dealing with challenging interpersonal dynamics. You are not obligated to downplay your success or happiness for the comfort of others. Maintaining peace in such relationships comes down to striking a balance. Show compassion, set clear boundaries, and stay grounded in the life you've created. By handling these interactions with empathy and self-respect, you not only protect your own peace, but also model the kind of resilience and self-acceptance that others might find inspiring. You've worked hard for the life you have, and there's no need to shrink yourself to fit someone else's narrative. In doing so, you affirm the value of living authentically, even when it unintentionally challenges others to confront their own insecurities. 4. Lack of empathy and understanding. One of the challenges of aging is recognizing that younger generations may not fully understand or appreciate the unique experiences and difficulties that come with growing older. This lack of empathy often stems from a simple truth: they haven't walked in your shoes yet. They're often immersed in their own fast-paced lives, where youth and energy can feel boundless, and the physical and emotional realities of aging are still far from their daily thoughts. As a result, they may view the changes in your pace, priorities, and even your perspective as limitations rather than natural adaptations to life's progression. This disconnect can sometimes lead to frustrating misunderstandings, especially when younger family members or acquaintances misinterpret your actions or intentions. Perhaps they view your careful, deliberate decision-making as hesitation or inefficiency, not recognizing that age often brings a thoughtful approach to choices. Or they may see your slower physical pace as a sign of weakness when it's merely a necessary adjustment. These misunderstandings may not be malicious, but they can still feel hurtful, creating a sense of isolation or even a feeling of being undervalued in your own family or social circles. Bridging this gap requires open communication, even though it might feel vulnerable or challenging. Sharing your experiences in a calm, honest way can be one of the most effective methods of fostering empathy. Explain to your younger family members or friends that certain activities take longer or more effort now, not because you don't care or aren't trying, but because your body and mind are adapting to the inevitable changes that come with time. A gentle explanation like, "I appreciate your patience. Some things just take a bit more time now," can open a dialogue and encourage them to see things from your perspective. Moreover, sharing stories from your life can be a powerful tool for building empathy. Younger generations might not immediately relate to the challenges of aging, but they can connect to the human experiences that shape us all. By telling stories about times when you, too, were on the go, striving for goals or managing pressures, you can help them see that your current stage of life isn't so different from theirs. It's simply a new chapter. For example, you might share how you once navigated the pressures of work, family, or societal expectations, allowing them to see how those challenges shape the person you are today. Additionally, remind yourself that not everyone will be able to meet you with the understanding you may wish for. It's an unfortunate truth, but accepting this can prevent unnecessary frustration. Instead of expecting younger people to automatically empathize with your experience, take comfort in those relationships where your experiences and insights are valued. Surrounding yourself with people who listen without judgment and who try to put themselves in your shoes can help mitigate the impact of misunderstandings with others. Through patient and open communication, you can help those around you develop a deeper understanding of what aging truly entails, and in doing so, you leave a valuable legacy of empathy and insight. Even if they don't fully understand today, your willingness to share and communicate can stay with them long into their own futures, helping them appreciate the richness of the life you've lived, and perhaps guiding them toward greater empathy as they age. By nurturing this connection, you not only build bridges across generations, but also find a space of mutual respect and understanding in which both you and your younger friends or family can grow. 5. Differences in values and beliefs. One of the most profound shifts between generations is often found in their core beliefs and values. As you age, you may notice that the principles you hold dear, such as a strong work ethic, commitment to family, and respect for traditions, might seem foreign or even outdated to younger generations. This divide is not only shaped by differing life experiences, but also by the rapid social and technological changes that have altered how younger people view the world and their place in it. As a result, what you may see as steadfast values, they may view as rigid or unnecessary, leading to misunderstandings that can feel disheartening. For many in your generation, hard work was not only expected, but also celebrated. Putting in long hours, meeting responsibilities, and demonstrating loyalty were seen as marks of good character. Younger generations, however, often prioritize flexibility and work-life balance, viewing these as equally valid goals. It's not that they don't value hard work, but rather that they interpret success differently. While you may have seen sacrifice and endurance as essential aspects of a career, they may seek careers that align with personal passions, mental health, and lifestyle preferences. These shifts can sometimes make it seem as though they lack commitment or drive, yet in reality, they're simply navigating a world with a new set of challenges and values. Similarly, family values may take on different meanings across generations. Whereas you might believe in staying close to family, maintaining regular contact, and supporting loved ones through life's challenges, younger generations might prioritize independence and individualism, sometimes choosing to live far from family or invest more time in friendships and chosen communities. You might interpret this as a lack of respect or loyalty to family, while they see it as necessary for personal growth and fulfillment. In such cases, it's easy for both sides to feel misunderstood, with one generation viewing the other as detached, and the other seeing their elders as overbearing or inflexible. While these differences can create tension, they don't have to become sources of conflict. Approaching these divides with curiosity rather than judgment can foster mutual respect and even lead to deeper understanding. Try to set aside preconceived notions and genuinely explore why younger people hold the values they do. Instead of assuming that their priorities are misguided, ask them to share their perspective. A question like, "What draws you to this approach?" or "How do you see it shaping your life?" can open doors to meaningful conversations and allow you to see their values through a new lens. Moreover, by sharing your own stories and the reasons behind your values, you offer younger generations a glimpse into a different world. Explain how the experiences you've had and the challenges you've faced have shaped your beliefs, showing that these values are not arbitrary, but are a reflection of the life you've lived. For example, sharing how your work ethic provided stability for your family, or how prioritizing family ties brought you comfort during difficult times, can help them understand the roots of your perspective. Ultimately, you don't have to resolve every difference or come to a perfect understanding. In fact, some values may always remain at odds, and that's okay. Instead, focus on building common ground where you can. Perhaps you and a younger family member share a commitment to kindness, a love for learning, or a desire to make a positive impact on the world. By focusing on these shared values, you bridge the gap across generations and create a foundation of mutual respect. Respecting these differences without letting them drive a wedge between you allows both you and younger generations to grow from one another's insights. Through open-minded curiosity, you honor the journey that brought you to where you are while creating space for others to walk their own path. In doing so, you foster a legacy of understanding and connection that transcends generational divides. 6. Misunderstandings and communication gaps. Communication styles have evolved significantly over generations, and these shifts often lead to misunderstandings between older and younger family members, friends, or colleagues. The ways in which you express yourself, offer advice, or even share stories may be received differently than you intend. For example, a straightforward piece of advice, offered with the best intentions, might come across as criticism to a younger person who may be more sensitive to tone and language. These communication gaps can lead to misunderstandings that, over time, create emotional distance, leaving you feeling isolated or frustrated in your interactions with younger generations. One common communication gap is in the language of sharing life experiences. Older generations often find value in passing down life lessons and wisdom, seeing it as a way to support loved ones by helping them avoid common pitfalls. However, younger generations, who may prioritize individual expression and personal discovery, can sometimes interpret this sharing as intrusive or overly directive. They may feel that your advice suggests a lack of confidence in their ability to navigate challenges on their own. What you intend as helpful guidance may thus be perceived as overbearing or even dismissive, creating a disconnect that neither side truly intended. Another gap arises from differing comfort levels with directness versus sensitivity in language. Many older adults value honesty and directness, believing that saying things plainly is a sign of respect. Younger people, on the other hand, often emphasize kindness and sensitivity, sometimes prioritizing tone and phrasing as much as the message itself. For instance, if you express frustration directly about a situation or a behavior, a younger person may interpret it as personal criticism rather than a specific point of concern. This difference in approach can result in defensive reactions, leaving you both feeling misunderstood and perhaps reluctant to engage in future conversations. To bridge these gaps, approaching conversations with active listening and empathy can make a world of difference. Start by listening attentively without planning your next response. Truly take in what they're saying. When you listen this way, you signal to the other person that you value their perspective, even if it differs from your own. This can encourage them to reciprocate and become more open to hearing your insights. A simple phrase like, "Tell me more about how you see it," can create a safe space for both of you to express yourselves openly and build mutual understanding. It's also helpful to frame your advice or perspective in a way that invites conversation rather than closure. Instead of saying, "This is how it should be done," you might offer, "In my experience, I found that this approach worked, but I'd love to hear your thoughts." This wording respects both your experience and their autonomy, making it easier for them to consider your viewpoint without feeling challenged or dismissed. By expressing your insights as personal stories rather than absolute truths, you allow them to see your intentions as supportive rather than critical. Additionally, when you feel misunderstood, gently clarify rather than reacting defensively. For instance, if a comment you made is taken the wrong way, you can say, "I didn't mean it that way. Let me try to explain." This approach diffuses tension and opens the door for further conversation. At the same time, don't be afraid to express your own feelings, especially if you feel your experiences or viewpoints are not being fully respected. Calmly sharing your perspective can remind them that you too have unique insights and feelings that deserve understanding. Ultimately, not every communication gap will be resolved perfectly, but your efforts to adapt your approach can leave a lasting impression. When you prioritize understanding over simply being understood, you foster a respectful environment that bridges generational divides. These conversations, though sometimes challenging, are opportunities to grow closer and learn from each other's perspectives. By embracing active listening, respectful sharing, and gentle clarification, you pave the way for more meaningful interactions and a deeper sense of connection across generations. Navigating these communication gaps requires patience, but the rewards are worth it. Through open-minded dialogue, you can build relationships where both you and your younger loved ones feel valued and understood. In the end, it's the willingness to listen, adapt, and learn from each other that strengthens your bonds, creating a legacy of empathy and respect that transcends any generational divide. 7. Gossip and rumours. In close-knit communities, whether among neighbours, family or friends, gossip can spread surprisingly quickly and often with damaging effects. In later years, when social circles may be more localised or tightly woven, these small networks become fertile ground for rumours to flourish. Unfortunately, gossip frequently arises not from malice, but from boredom, insecurity, or a simple desire for connection. Yet, when people share stories about others, stories that may be exaggerated or entirely untrue, the repercussions can harm reputations and strain long-standing relationships. A single misunderstood comment, or an innocent action taken out of context, can easily morph into a narrative that leaves you feeling judged or even ostracized. For example, you might find that a casual remark about your financial situation or a minor family conflict gets repeated, each time with added details or speculation. Before long, a simple observation turns into a distorted story, fueling misperceptions about your character, decisions, or lifestyle. In some cases, these rumors are merely annoyances, but they can also result in more painful consequences, such as friends growing distant or family members beginning to treat you differently. It's disheartening to feel like you have to defend yourself or correct misconceptions, especially when you didn't invite such attention in the first place. In situations where rumors or gossip begin to impact your peace or relationships, remaining authentic is your best course of action. Trying to control or chase down every rumor is exhausting and often futile. Instead, focus on maintaining your integrity and letting your actions speak for themselves. When others witness your calm, consistent demeanor, they're more likely to question the validity of any negative talk they may hear. Authenticity serves as a powerful shield against gossip, allowing others to see your true character and recognize that hearsay is just that, empty talk without basis in reality. However, if a particular rumor becomes especially hurtful or damaging, addressing it calmly and directly may be necessary. Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, approach the situation with dignity. If a specific person is responsible for spreading misinformation, consider having a private, respectful conversation. A simple, clarifying statement like, "I've heard there may be some misunderstandings about this, and I wanted to clarify," can go a long way in diffusing tension. By calmly correcting the falsehood, you demonstrate that you value the truth without escalating the situation. Remember, gossip often says more about those spreading it than about the person it targets. It reflects their own insecurities, need for attention, or desire to feel connected through storytelling. Recognize that while you cannot control what others say, you can control your response. Staying grounded in your values and preserving your inner peace allows you to rise above the noise, demonstrating to others that rumors cannot shake your sense of self. By maintaining your authenticity and addressing significant misunderstandings thoughtfully, you uphold your dignity and show others that your character remains strong regardless of idle chatter. 8. Feeling overlooked and underappreciated. One of the quieter challenges of aging is the sense of becoming invisible, particularly within one's own family or social circle. After years of contributing, supporting loved ones, and playing pivotal roles in others' lives, it can be disheartening to feel overlooked or underappreciated. Many older adults find themselves in this position where their contributions, raising children, offering guidance, or providing financial or emotional support, seem to fade into the background as the younger generations forge ahead with their own busy lives. You may feel as though the wisdom, experiences, and sacrifices that once defined your role in the family have become merely footnotes, left unacknowledged or forgotten. This feeling is especially common among parents or grandparents who once played a central role in keeping the family together. Adult children, absorbed in their careers or their own young families, may fail to recognize the depth of what you have given over the years. Grandchildren, too, may see you more as a distant figure, rather than someone with a rich history and perspective to share. This oversight can lead to feelings of loneliness or insignificance, making it difficult to find a place of meaning and validation within your own family. In times like these, finding fulfillment within yourself can be a source of strength and peace. Reflect on the impact you've made, knowing that your contributions are not diminished by someone else's lack of recognition. Remind yourself that the love, support, and stability you've provided have shaped the lives of those you care about, even if they don't always express their gratitude directly. Taking pride in your own journey and accomplishments is a way to honor yourself, regardless of external acknowledgement. Another way to cope with these feelings is to share your stories and experiences when the opportunity arises. While it may seem that younger family members are preoccupied with their own lives, many are genuinely interested in learning from the past. They simply may not know how to ask. Opening up about your life, not to seek praise but to create a connection, can bridge this gap. A simple conversation about lessons learned or cherished memories can bring warmth to family gatherings and remind others of the wealth of knowledge and experience you hold. By finding fulfillment within and choosing to share parts of your life story in meaningful moments, you reaffirm your place within the family and society. Your legacy is far more than what others say or acknowledge. It's a testament to the life you've built, the people you've impacted, and the quiet strength you carry. Embrace that, and allow it to bring you comfort and pride in all that you've accomplished. 9. Breaking age stereotypes. As you reach later stages of life, the freedom to pursue passions and try new things can be one of the most rewarding aspects of aging. Yet, breaking away from conventional expectations, whether by picking up a new hobby, traveling solo, or even starting a business, can sometimes provoke discomfort or judgment from others. Many people hold preconceived ideas about what older people should or shouldn't do, assuming that age comes with an automatic limitation on interests, energy, and aspirations. When you choose to defy these stereotypes, it may challenge those around you to confront their own beliefs about aging, often evoking reactions that reveal more about their own fears and limitations than about you. For example, a friend or family member might raise an eyebrow if you decide to take up painting or learn a new language, questioning why you're bothering at this stage in life. Or they may make comments about acting your age if you join a fitness class or start a new social activity. These reactions often come from a place of discomfort with the idea of aging itself. Witnessing you live vibrantly and authentically may serve as a reminder of what they've held back from in their own lives, making your choices feel unsettling to them. In these moments, embrace your choices fully, as expressions of who you truly are. You've earned the freedom to live according to your passions and interests, regardless of others' opinions. By doing so, you serve as a powerful example of authenticity, showing that age is not a barrier, but rather an invitation to keep exploring. Let your life reflect your unique journey, allowing it to inspire others to reconsider what's possible at any stage. Pursuing your passions is a testament to your strength, resilience, and commitment to living fully, proving that there's no limit to what you can achieve, no matter your age. Embracing authenticity and inner peace. Aging comes with its share of joys and challenges, many of which involve navigating others' opinions, judgments, and misunderstandings. Yet, through each of the reasons we've explored, from envy and rivalry to generational gaps and shifting values, the message remains clear. Finding peace and authenticity within yourself is essential. By understanding the roots of others' reactions and choosing to live unapologetically, you create a life defined by resilience, fulfillment, and true self-respect. Embracing your path with compassion and dignity allows you to sidestep negativity and stay grounded in the accomplishments, values, and joys that are uniquely yours. Living authentically is one of the greatest gifts you can give to yourself, and a powerful example for others. Your life, filled with its own stories and wisdom, becomes an inspiration, quietly challenging stereotypes and reminding those around you of the beauty and potential of every stage of life. If you found this journey of self-reflection valuable, we invite you to join our community by liking, subscribing, and sharing your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your own experiences and insights on how you navigate relationships and find peace. Here's to living fully with courage and authenticity.